Hello, everyone. The perfect offseason trade target for every NBA team. I haven't talked about trades as much as I've talked about, free agency targets, especially center free agency targets. But I think, a trade could happen with us. We have trade targets like a sign and trade with Malik Monk or a sign and trade with Devontae Graham. We could maybe trade away Terry Rozier. I've seen rumors of him to the Lakers. We could trade away Gordon Hayward because our small forward and power forward position is really heavy, especially if we go small forward in the draft. So we could trade away Gordon Hayward. But, let's see who would we get in return. Let's get right into it. Subscribe if you're new. Atlanta Hawks, Marcus Smart. They do need a defensive guard because Trae Young and Lou Will, don't play any defense, and they need to balance those two out. Okay. I like that. I think they could trade away someone like Kevin Herter, although he's a great shooter. I think there's a hold to how good he is. So yeah, I agree with that. Boston Celtics, Jonas Valanciunas. He had probably one of the most underrated seasons this year in Valanciunas. Really was the veteran on that Grizzlies team. I wish they would give an actual trade instead of just pinning him to one team. But yeah, the Celtics are in the same place as the Hornets where they have really good pieces, but they just don't have a center. And obviously, Robert Williams kind of held it down. He got injured, though. And they had Tristan Thompson, who was good at times, but consistently not that good. And they just traded for Al Horford. So I guess a trade could include Robert Williams for Jonas Valanciunas, if that's the way they want to go. But yeah, I agree. They need a better center. Brooklyn Nets, Chris Boucher. I don't know how they would get him. And I wish it would tell me something about how they would get him because I feel like they have no money. Who's under contract for just $7 million next season? Do they have money for $7 million more dollars? I thought they have to re-sign their big three, but okay. Charlotte Hornets, Mitchell Robinson. I see Devontae Graham in the picture, so it probably hints at a Mitchell Robinson for Devontae Graham, maybe. We would just have to sign Devontae Graham and then trade him away, which I think I'm fine with. And the Hornets need a good, point guard. They have their rookie and they have Derrick Rose, but I think Devontae Graham is still better than their rookie. I'm blanking on his name right now. But I approve of Mitchell Robinson coming to the Hornets. He's pretty injury prone, which we have a lot of those already, and Gordon Hayward. But yeah, I would like him. I think he's only 23. He could grow with LaMelo Ball. So yeah, sure. Chicago Bulls, PG Lonzo Ball. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. I think the Chicago Bulls should have made that trade at the deadline. When they traded for Vucevic, they should have just went all in for Lonzo as well because maybe they could have made the playoffs. Maybe their pick wouldn't go to the Orlando Magic in this year's draft. I think they should have made that trade when his trade value was a little bit less at the deadline, and I think his trade value was even higher because he made that fourth-year jump. Cleveland Cavaliers, Luke Kennard. He's getting overpaid. Cleveland Cavaliers have a good amount of money if they move off of Kevin Love, and maybe that's what the trade is a Luke Kennard for Kevin Love and a first or something like that, because Luke Kennard had his moments in the playoffs. Kennard, 24, finished 8th overall in three-point accuracy. Yeah, he's a three-point shooter. He can dribble a little bit. Yeah. Dallas Mavericks, CJ McCollum, probably for Kristaps Porzingis is my guess. A backcourt of Kennard and Luka would be the NBA's best. McCollum brings that defense as well that the Mavs need at that guard position. The Nuggets, Malcolm Brogdon. Interesting, because they already have Jamal Murray. They traded away Gary Harris. And I really don't see Malcolm Brogdon as a 2, and I don't see Jamal Murray as a 2. So, okay, a starting lineup of Brogdon, Murray, Porter. Okay, that is a deadly lineup, but I don't see Jamal Murray needs the ball in his hands to be effective, and so does Malcolm Brogdon. So I don't know how that fit would work. Who would they trade away? Probably what? Will Barton. Um, yeah, I don't know. Who's their other trade pieces? I'm not sure. But let's keep going. Detroit Pistons, Cam Reddish. Yeah, if Detroit can just get a whole lot of young guys with a lot of potential, that sounds good to me. Yeah, I don't know who they'd trade to the Atlanta Hawks. They don't really have anybody that's worth trading for, and nobody that the Atlanta Hawks really need. I was thinking about Miles Plumlee for a second, but they have their rookie Double O, and they have Clint Capella, so they don't really need Miles Plumlee. So I'm not sure who they'd trade, but okay. Warriors, Christian Wood. I was going to make a video about the Charlotte Hornets getting Christian Wood because I think it's a good idea to trade for, and especially if the Rockets go with Evan Mobley in this year's draft, I think that could maybe push Christian Wood out, and that's really tough to say because he just got a big contract with them, multi-year deal. But for the Warriors, yeah, that would make them pretty good. Christian Wood can stretch the floor a little bit. He averaged 21, 9, and 1 block. And 37% from 3. I think the Charlotte Hornets should trade for him. Maybe a package. Oh, gosh. What would the Rockets want? Probably P.J. Washington and a first. And maybe the P.J. Washington and our 11th overall pick for Christian Wood. I would do that. I would personally do that. Houston Rockets, James Wiseman. So I guess the Rockets and the Warriors are swapping Christian Wood for James Wiseman. Yeah, James Wiseman has a lot of potential. It would be super funny if the Warriors and the Charlotte Hornets made a trade and we got James Wiseman and we got the first overall pick in last year's draft and the third overall pick. I don't know what we would give the maybe a Gordon Hayward for James Wiseman swap. Didn't I talk about that in midseason? I probably made a video on that. Indiana Pacers, Gordon Hayward. Okay, that is a possibility if we get Miles Turner in return, maybe Doug McDermott as well. But if we don't get Miles Turner in return, I don't see a trade going down. The Pacers already admitted pursuing Hayward last season. He is on a big year deal. He did have a near All-Star season. Even if it cost the Pacers Miles Turner and Turner a lineup of Brogdon, oh yeah, that is a good lineup. But it was also a good lineup without Hayward in this lineup, and they still underperformed last year in the Pacers. So I don't know. Clippers, DeMar DeRozan, yeah, he is okay. So DeMar DeRozan's a free agent, so this wouldn't. I'm trying to think of how this could be a trade. They're saying a sign and trade. Okay, I mean, if DeMar DeRozan will take a pay cut to be with the Clippers, sure. I don't know who the Spurs would want in return. Maybe Luke Kennard. That's pretty much the Clippers' only trade piece at this moment that's young. Lakers, Russell Westbrook. With what money? With what? Okay, I hate all these trades because Montrezl Harrell is not going to accept his player option. If he does, I will do something crazy. But Montrezl Harrell will not accept his, $5 million player option. Montrezl Harrell wants to get paid. And this package of Kyle Kuzma, KCP, and Montrezl Harrell, if he opts in, is not enough. Not even close to enough for Russell Westbrook. And the Lakers don't have any picks because of the Anthony Davis deal. And how would that spacing work with LeBron and Russell? Russell Westbrook needs the ball in his hands. LeBron James needs the ball in his hands. Oh, God. I don't agree with that. Let's see. Grizzlies, Domantas Sabonis. Yeah, that would be insane if they got him. I don't know who the Pacers would want in return. It's highly unlikely the Pacers would part with Sabonis. Yeah, I think it's more likely for the Pacers to go with Sabonis over Miles Turner. I think they would trade Miles Turner over Sabonis in a heartbeat. But yeah, Miami Heat, Bradley Beal. That would probably make them a championship contender right off the bat, so I agree with that. Milwaukee Bucks, DeLon Wright. Yeah, I like DeLon Wright. I think he was good in he obviously got traded from Detroit to Sacramento, and he kind of had an underrated season, 10 points, 4 and 4. Yeah, sure. Timberwolves, Pascal Siakam. Okay. I think that still makes them a bottom team and out of the playoffs. I don't think that raises their ceiling that much. But you never know. With everybody healthy, Russell, Towns, Siakam, Edwards, although they might have to trade away D'Angelo Russell. Yeah, sure. Miles Turner for the Pelicans. I think that's a great center for the Pelicans to pair along with Zion because Zion likes to be in the paint. Miles Turner can stretch the floor at times. I think he only shot 32% from three, so he didn't have the greatest a 35% from three. So sure. Knicks, Zach LaVine. Who would the Bulls get in return? That's the big question. And I don't think the Bulls want to trade away Zach LaVine unless Zach LaVine wants to get traded. Let's keep going. Thunder, Colin Sexton. Yeah, I don't know what the Cleveland Cavaliers would get in return. Probably just draft compensation. Because I don't think the Cavs would want Kemba. He's too old. A lot of money. All right, the Magic and Jared Culver. Yeah, I mean, sure. If the Timberwolves want a young guy in Mo Bamba, or if they want Wendell Carter, sure. 76ers, Damian Lillard for Ben Simmons and some draft compensation, maybe. Yeah, even if Sevens went to Portland and return a lineup of Lillard, Steph Curry, Thibault, Harris, and Embiid. Okay, sure, yeah. Suns and Jeremy Grant. Wow. I mean, they're already in the finals, and this would make them a whole lot better. I'm thinking, who would they give up, though? I wish these... it's good to throw around names into the trade market, but who would they get? Who would the Pistons get in return? I don't know who they're not giving up DeAndre Ayton. They're not giving up Mikal Bridges, or obviously the big ones in Booker and Paul. Okay. Okay. Blazers and Draymond Green. I think Draymond Green is a lifer for the city. I don't think he's more moving away from the Warriors. I just don't. Kings, Robert Covington. That wouldn't really move the needle at all. They need young pieces. How old is Robert Covington? Like 29. I don't think that. Yeah, he's 30 years old. So I don't know why. I don't know why bottom 5 teams in conferences like to trade for older guys and just trade away stupid stuff when you can just rebuild even more. Spurs and Kristaps Porzingis. Yeah, if they did a sign and trade with a DeMar DeRozan or someone, or maybe DeJounte Murray since he's been in the trade market, so I could see that. Raptors, Mo Bamba. Yeah, if they want to go young, they're probably Kyle Lowry's probably not going to go back. They have Jalen Suggs lobbing it up to Mo Bamba. I could see that. Utah Jazz, Larry Nance Jr. I mean, if they want to replace Royce O'Neal, I think Royce O'Neal did a good job for them last season at the power forward position. But obviously Larry Nance is very good defensively. But sure, Wizards and Terrence Ross. Good scorer, doesn't play a lot of defense, sure. And that's going to do it for me. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys later.